Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Cherie.
And we're known online as Technomadia.
And we keep a separate channel called the Mobile Internet Resource Center that goes along with technically our day job. And we have a bunch of content over there on mobile internet options.
But I guess today we're going to talk a little bit from our personal perspective about the personal internet connections that we use and actually pay for, not just our test ones. And we have coverage on all 4 carriers and essentially unlimited plans.
We're paying $133 a month for those plans on all 4 carriers. And this is sort of also, CheapRVLiving had a live cast the other evening with Jim in Denver where he went over the internet plans that he's using to get cheap internet on the road as well. So first of all, we wanted to kind of give you some more information on some of those plans. Some of them are the same ones we use, and we totally get.
But we're getting quite a few questions from people who saw that video, and they're like, oh, hey, that sounds interesting, and we want to fill in a few of the blanks that weren't quite covered there, or some of the gotchas that were really left out on some of these other alternative plans.
The thing with cellular data plans, and we track these closely every single day, is a lot of them have terms and conditions and caveats that you have to know about to understand if they're the right plan for you. So let's go over the plans first that Jim on that CheapRVLiving
broadcast talked about. His 4 plans for Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, and T-Mobile. So we'll go through them in that order.
So for Verizon, Jim is using a $5 per month Verizon unlimited data plan on the 4G network.
Oh my God, that sounds ridiculously cheap. $5 for unlimited Verizon. There's got to be a catch, and of course there is. It is a very kind of shady deal.
And he did use that all the plans he's using is legal, so I don't think this plan is necessarily illegal for you to use, but it is definitely against Verizon's terms of service.
So what these plans are basically doing is they're taking some plans like this anyway, at least, have been taking serial numbers off of old prepaid flip phones and flashing them onto mobile hotspots, so Verizon's network thinks the hotspot is a flip phone. And then this one in particular is doing something really dicey where it's routing all traffic through Canada. So when you're using this plan, you appear as if you're in Vancouver.
And that can actually block some content in the U.S.
Like Netflix won't work.
So if you go to the CheapRVLiving thread in their forums and track what people are reporting, a lot of people aren't able to use Amazon Prime or Netflix on this plan. And a lot of people are wanting these unlimited plans for video streaming.
Right.
The other caveat with this plan is it is on the prepaid network, so you're not going to get Verizon's full postpaid network. Now, there's not that much difference. It's not that big of a deal, but make sure you check Verizon's prepaid coverage map when you're considering this plan.
But the biggest catch with plans like this, and there are several other plans that have been kind of skirting through little loopholes in Verizon's rules, is Verizon actually has a team internally that is looking for people bending the rules or breaking the rules and shutting down plans. And so if you get a plan like this, there's a history of them being shut down overnight. Sometimes they last for years or longer. Other times you're just cut off with basically no recourse. So keep that in mind, particularly because this plan, the $5 a month plan, requires buying a device for nearly $300 up front from the person who is doing the flashing.
And you're not just buying the device, you're paying that person to do this hacking onto the device to get the firmware to read the old prepaid plan phone stuff.
Which means that if the plan is ever shut down, that device becomes a hockey puck. You can't use it again with a regular Verizon hotspot plan because it's no longer on the network. It's no longer a Verizon hotspot. It has been modified. So keep that in mind. It could be a great, for $5 a month, once you pay that upfront cost, if it lasts 6 months or a year, you're doing great as long as you don't mind being virtually in Canada. But know what you're getting into if you go that direction.
We're not saying don't use the plan. We're just saying go in with eyes wide open of what you're getting yourself into. For those of us that rely on mobile internet, I prefer to have options that I have some confidence that they're going to last, and I'm not going to be scrambling last minute to have to replace.
Which brings up our Verizon plan.
So we use a grandfathered legacy Verizon unlimited data plan. These are the ones that Verizon retired back in 2011, and they continue to still honor as long as you keep them in contract. They have terminated some high bandwidth users who are out of contract, so it is a trick to keep them in contract, but they still work. We pay $45 a month for this unlimited data plan. It is officially still, Verizon allows you to use them in a hotspot device even though they were smartphone plans. And
it's no hacking, no flashing required, and you get unthrottled. It's unlike Verizon's new current Beyond Unlimited plans. These old grandfather plans don't have network management and are not throttled in any fashion. So,
and they're postpaid, so you get the full Verizon map as well as their roaming partners.
So these plans, you can still get them even though they haven't been existed since 2011, right? You can still get them. There's a lot of hoops to jump through, and you got to pay some up front, but you can still find ways to get these plans. We've got some guides to that.
Part of the Resource Center, but
yep.
There's still options for those, and that's the plan that we use and recommend. As far as other options on Verizon, they're kind of limited. You got Visible, which is Verizon's new prepaid brand, but that's smartphone only, no hotspot use.
Right.
Great for smartphones. So the Verizon options are kind of limited for unlimited options.
Particularly affordable unlimited options, yeah.
But we're constantly tracking these, so check out our resources. I'll put some links down in the description as well as some links over to. We keep a video going over at the Mobile Internet Resource on our current best top pick plans for the carriers.
Right.
So I'll put that link wherever that little info button is.
Okay.
All right, so for AT&T, what Jim is using is he mentioned the Mobley.
This is the Mobley plan. We about this time last year, there was kind of a craze going around of this Mobley plan. Once word got out that this little tiny cartridge designed to plug into a car and give you unlimited internet for your passengers while you're driving, you can get a power supply and plug this in even when you're not having driving and get unlimited internet anywhere, anytime.
$20 a month, unlimited standalone plan. Bad news, it is gone.
Yes.
Jim was completely correct about that. The plan is still there. You can still get the $20 per month unlimited plan if you have the OnStar system integrated in with your vehicle. It's only going to work when your ignition is on, really.
Yeah, so that no longer has the cartridge that you can use separately. It is built into your car, and it will only work while your car is running. So people get excited about that, but then they realize, well, that's not super practical for...
What AT&T turned off in September is they're no longer activating aftermarket devices like the Mobley on this plan. People were still able to activate them through the end of last year, but as of December, our sources in AT&T tell us the option is completely gone, and we have no confirmed cases of anyone being able to activate the plan anymore on the Mobley device.
But if you have a Mobley, it's grandfathered in, and those of us who were paying attention last year have this locked-in $20 plan, which is awesome. But now, what's the next current best alternative on AT&T?
So what Jim mentioned was the iPad prepaid plan. This is $29.99 a month if you do the auto pay. If you don't go auto pay, it is available for $35. You can only activate it on a tablet, and you do it right from the tablet if you have a cellular enabled tablet. This plan is subject to network management, so after 22 gigabytes of usage, your speeds may be slowed down.
And it does not on the tablet support any hotspot usage. You cannot use your tablet to create a hotspot and get other devices online. But
you can do a lot on a tablet. Streaming is great on a tablet. It's a large enough screen you can actually enjoy your content. An HDMI cable out can also project that or cast that over to a larger screen. And with a keyboard, there's a lot you can do on a tablet for web surfing, email, even some work tasks.
And now there's also kind of a bit of a loophole that is that if you take that SIM card once it's activated out of your tablet and put it into an AT&T hotspot, AT&T compatible hotspot, AT&T is not blocking that. It is officially against AT&T's terms of service to move a device between categories like that, but they're not preventing you. And it's a prepaid plan, so even if they cancel you, you're only out for a couple weeks. And they have no history of enforcement. So you put it into a hotspot like this, and you've got an unlimited AT&T hotspot for that.
However, keep in mind, just because AT&T is not enforcing their terms of service at current time doesn't mean they might not in the future. So definitely do that with your own risk and know that it could just go away one day.
Yep. Or then you have to put the plan back into a tablet and just use it as intended. Yep.
Now for AT&T, for us, we do have that Mobley plan, but we mainly consider that part of our testing setup. What we did is back in February, AT&T actually retired their Unlimited Plus accounts, which was unlimited on smartphones, but hotspot devices were allowed to still have unlimited data with no mobile hotspot caps on them, and you could add those to those plans for as little as $20 a month, and that's what we use as our primary AT&T data.
We try to give everybody in the world a warning, get this now before the plan was retired, and a lot of people have, so you've got locked in, grandfathered, unlimited AT&T hotspot data, and again, we try to give people as much notice as possible when these plans come up and when they're about to be retired, so that's one of the things we try to spread the word about.
We've sent out several newsletters on that through the Mobile Internet Resource Center, lots of alerts over there. As far as other AT&T official options, they are offering a 100 gigabyte plan on their wireless internet device. So it's just really designed for home use, but it works great mobile.
In RVs, a lot of RVers have used it because it actually gives you a phone jack for regular household phone line, as well as a home internet service via Wi-Fi. And it's a pretty cheap plan.
Yep, that plan is $100 a month for 100 gigabytes. So that is kind of our current top pick plan for AT&T.
You can get by walking in the front door.
Yeah, if you want something that is officially supported by AT&T for hotspot use.
Yes.
There are a lot of resellers out there too that are selling unlimited data plans on AT&T's network. We've seen prices range anywhere from like $70 a month up to $150 a month. And I'll have a link to our limited guide with some of the links to some of those vendors if you want to investigate those. Now, Sprint is the next carrier that Jim covered. We actually consider them fourth in line as far as nationwide coverage.
Yes.
But what he is using is a nonprofit plan through a company called PCs for People, and he's claiming $10 a month on that plan. That plan is available for those that qualify with low income.
I believe it's $24,000. You got to document that you make less than $24,000 a year, which is a great plan, great service.
Yep. Now these plans stem from an old Clear Wireless setup that they had with nonprofits, where they agreed to offer these to nonprofits, these low-cost unlimited plans. And when Sprint bought Clear, they inherited
acquired these long-term contracts, and so they continue to offer these through several nonprofits. And then if the nonprofit has their own terms of how they pass that on to their members or to the audience they serve. So PCs for People does it for low income. Another one that you can get that does not require being low income is the Calyx Institute. Anybody can join the Calyx Institute, and as a member you can get a hotspot
device. So with Calyx you join for $500 for the year. These are all usually joining up front for a larger cost, and then you get a year of service. So $500 includes the hotspot device and then a year of unlimited service, and then you renew each year at $400 a year. So we consider this $33 a month for unlimited Sprint service.
Yep.
We got one. That's what we use for our Sprint arsenal because we're not low income qualified. The difficulty is right now is Calyx is not accepting new customers because this particular device, is the ZTE Warp, is having reports of lots of battery swelling and even fires.
And so it hasn't officially been recalled yet, but out of abundance of safety, Calyx has stopped offering that plan until they find an alternative hotspot. PCs for People actually they were offering this one. They've now got an alternative hotspot, a Franklin hotspot that they're offering, so they're still able to sign up new people. So
if you do have this one, or you get your hands on one of these, this does not have a user replaceable battery, which is a really big downside on it. It's just not designed for 24/7 use of being plugged in and running. So just unplug it every so often and let it run off its battery so that the charger isn't overcharging that battery. But definitely keep an eye on it. If you see any signs of this swelling around it, discontinue use because these are a fire hazard.
Yep.
Okay, for Sprint alternatives, like I said, we use the Calyx plan at $33 a month, but we prepaid for a year on that. The alternatives for Sprint is they do offer a direct plan with them, $50 a month for 50 gigabytes of use on a hotspot device. And the FMC actually has a pretty good deal with them. It's $49.99 a month. It is truly unlimited data, but video is throttled down to standard definition resolution.
So a lot of RVers are FMC members, or can qualify to join the FMCA if you want to be able to become a member and take advantage of these plans. It's an interesting way to go.
I think I'm going to throw in a note here too. You also see the FMCA has a Verizon-based plan.
Avoid.
They use the word unlimited in it. It is also $49.99 a month, but that one, it only includes 25 gigabytes of high-speed mobile hotspot use, and then it is hard throttled for the rest of the month. And the reports that we're getting from people on this plan is that throttling speed is
unusable.
It's unusably slow. So you need to consider that a 25 gigabyte plan on Verizon. It's not a bad deal at $50 a month, but you also have to sign a 2-year contract on that one. And
it's a bad deal with factoring the contract.
Yeah, I don't like signing contracts for okay deals. So anyway, side note on that. T-Mobile.
Basically, the T-Mobile had a year and a half ago these plans that were fairly affordable that included a certain amount of data, 6 gigabytes or so of data, but then unlimited video streaming called Binge On was the feature from about 100 different video sites, only sites that were qualified.
Well, they partnered with them.
Yeah, they partnered with. And those plans have been retired by T-Mobile officially, but there's still different ways to get those plans through kind of resellers, right?
So Jim has his through 4G Antenna Shop.
A lot of good things from them.
Yeah, and we have great feedback on 4G Antenna Shop. They seem to be true to their word, and they try to protect their plans as much as possible. They are a reseller of both T-Mobile and AT&T. Millenicom, who, if you've been
long-time RVer,
you might recognize that name, but they are now dealing T-Mobile plans, and they still offer the old Simple Choice plan on a hotspot. And basically, you get 6 gigabytes of data a month on this plan. It goes into a rollover account that can store up to 20 gigabytes that you can use in a year. And then it's only $35 a month for this plan. And then, but the video streaming on these supported streaming partners is unlimited, but it is at 480p resolution, our standard DVD resolution.
Yeah, but then that video streaming does not count against that 6 gigabytes, and also music streaming does not count against that 6 gigabytes. So if we kind of consider the plan in our tablet as just a great streaming device, and a lot of people will just have one of these plans and hook it up to a TV and stream all they want. But the catch is, because this plan has been retired for so long, is T-Mobile has gotten really sloppy about keeping up on these partnerships, and people have to watch their data usage closely, because some of these sites, like we just had a report recently of HBO, which is one of the officially supported sites, but somebody noticed that watching HBO was burning through their 6 gigs of data and not being free data, and they had to contact T-Mobile support. And we get reports like that over and over. Unless
T-Mobile support people know about these older plans or how to deal with them. And if you're going through a reseller like 4G Antenna Shop or Millenicom, you're not dealing with T-Mobile directly, you're dealing with the reseller to even keep on track of what your data usage is. So that can be kind of difficult, but it is a great option. We still keep our old Simple Choice T-Mobile plan. We keep the SIM card in an iPad, and it's our fallback. We use it for video streaming if we really need to, but our other options usually keep us well suited. But if we're in an area where T-Mobile is the best option, we know that we have that 20 gigabytes of data stash waiting for us as hotspot use. And we have tapped into that
many times.
Often enough that it makes sense for us to continue paying the $35 a month to keep this in our setup.
Yep. So that's how we cover all the carriers there.
Yep. Now for T-Mobile options, there are a bunch of resellers that are taking the current unlimited data plans from T-Mobile and reselling them on hotspot devices. Millenicom, Infinite, LTE, Ultimate, there's a whole bunch of them. They're in our unlimited guide. You can go look there, and they're going to be about $70 to $90 a month for an unlimited plan. But T-Mobile right now offers the only remaining unlimited hotspot plan that you can get direct with them, and that's with their T-Mobile One plan. And if you amp up to Plus International for an extra $25 per month, you can get unlimited hotspot on your smartphone.
Right, so it's not hotspot as in mobile hotspot.
Not one of these devices.
You can't put it in one of those, but you can put it on a phone and get unlimited 4G tethering off your phone, which is a really great thing that T-Mobile offers.
And it even works in Canada and Mexico. So that's a great plan, and seniors and military also have special discounts on that plan that are worth looking into. So that's our wrap up of the 4 carriers and what we use, and hopefully give you some more information on the options that are being discussed over on the CheapRVLiving site and their forums as well. So hopefully that's helpful. Join us over at the Mobile Internet Resource Center. We have our channel over there. We're constantly reporting on new plans. Look at our best cellular data plans guide video there, and we have an unlimited guide that we constantly keep updated as new options come and go. So that's helpful.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and check us out on both our channels. Take care.